Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're skipping the prepared remarks, the script, if you will.
Yeah, we're diving straight into the Q&A from the latest earnings call. That's often where you find the unscripted truth.
Exactly, where the analysts really push management on the details. Our mission today is to pull out the core strategy from those questions and answers.
We're focusing on, profitability commitments, how they plan to handle this massive upcoming merger, and the big shifts happening with AI and agent tech.
We want to get past the surface level and give you the operational gold, the why behind the what.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this. Started with the financials, the really hard numbers.
Yeah, the financials are definitely dominated by a couple of really significant commitments they made during the Q&A.
Okay, what's the first one?
Well, analyst Ryan McCarney was asking about their profitability drive. Management confirmed they're targeting an incremental $50 to $75 million in adjusted EBITDA.
Incremental, so on top of what they were already projecting.
Correct. And crucially, they clarified that at least $50 million of that improvement is expected to land in the 2026 baseline.
Okay, so that's important for anyone trying to build a model, right?
Yeah.
It means these OpEx cuts aren't just temporary fixes.
Exactly. They're structural changes meant to stick around, boosting profitability longer term.
Right, structural. Got it. What was the second big commitment?
This one relates to the huge merger that's pending. Analyst Bernard McTernan asked about the cost synergies for the Anywhere deal.
Did they just reiterate the old numbers?
No, they actually dramatically increased the commitment. It was pretty striking.
How dramatic. What are we talking about here?
Well, they moved the target from what they previously called a conservative $225 million plus to a firm commitment of more than $300 million in net cost synergies.
Wow. Okay, more than $300 million. That's a big jump.
It really is. Just to put that in perspective for you, that's like a 33% increase over the initial target they floated. It's a serious statement.
And they gave timing on that. How quickly do they expect to see those savings?
Yeah, they said $150 million of that total is expected in the first year after the deal closes, so they're kind of front-loading the benefits.
Okay, that sounds ambitious. Given how big this merger is and, the whole economic climate, isn't there a risk?
A risk of what? Like cutting too deep?
Yeah, cutting too deep and maybe hurting the actual product or agent support, trying to hit that $300 million plus number.
That's definitely the key question people have. Management's answer really leaned on their track record. They kept pointing back to how they cut OpEx before.
Right. They mentioned that huge $600 million number they hit by 2025, which was way more than they first aimed for.
Exactly. They beat their initial $320 million goal by a huge margin. So they're framing this new $300 million plus target with that same kind of internal confidence.
Suggesting their operational, let's say, muscle is strong enough now.
That seems to be the message,
Yeah.
that they can make these large-scale cuts without breaking the core services that agents rely on.
But we should probably add a caveat here, right? They couldn't actually say where the extra $75 million or so is coming from yet.
Correct. Because the deal's still in the regulatory review process, they're limited in what specifics they can share. So for now, it's a commitment based on confidence and past performance.
Got it. Confidence-based for now.
Yeah.
Okay, sticking with Q3 for a second. Jason Heistein asked about organic growth.
Yeah.
What drove that?
Management said the 2-point acceleration they saw in Q3 organic growth was mostly driven by September.
Just September.
Yeah, apparently performance really hit a nice stride that month. It suggests, maybe some building momentum as they headed into Q4.
Okay. And connecting back to the big merger, I think Matthew Bully and Michael Ng asked about M&A and debt.
They did, and management confirmed they're hitting the brakes hard on any more small tuck-in acquisitions for now.
The strategic pause.
Totally strategic. It's all about focusing 100% on executing the Anywhere integration perfectly. They don't want any distractions.
And that ties into the money side too, right? The debt.
Absolutely. This pause is directly linked to their financial strategy. They said every dollar they save by not doing those smaller deals is going straight into cash accounts.
Building up a war chest for after the deal closes.
Exactly. Their number one priority post-close will be paying down the debt they're taking on with this merger, which they acknowledge is significant. It's all execution, synergy capture, and solvency right now.
Okay, so the financial strategy seems pretty defensive. Build up cash, pay down debt, manage costs. Let's switch to the offense then, the technology piece.
Right. And this is where I think it gets really interesting strategically. This whole AI for AI concept they talked about.
AI for AI. Artificial intelligence for agent intelligence.
That's the one. It's their internal tagline. And it rests on three main ideas, or pillars as they called them.
Which are?
Redefining agent productivity, making agents way more efficient, driving efficiency within the whole organization, and deepening the relationships agents have with their clients.
So it's not just about fancy tools. It's about core business functions.
Precisely. And they gave an update on their own system, Compass AI 2.0. It's in internal testing, alpha testing right now.
And what's the hook there? What makes it different?
The interesting part is the focus on voice commands for complex tasks. Things like, creating a client collection, adding someone to the CRM, stuff that usually takes time clicking around.
Streamlining the admin burden, essentially.
Yeah. And they expect to roll this AI 2.0 out to all their agents before the next earnings call, so it's coming pretty soon.
Okay, high visibility on that timeline. But you said there was a bigger insight, something about a paradigm shift.
Yes, this was probably the most profound point they made regarding AI's impact. It's about generative AI, like ChatGPT, and how it's changing lead flow.
How so? They contrasted with the old way, right? The portals.
Exactly. They painted a picture of traditional real estate portals where often the lead just goes to whichever agent paid the most for that zip code. It's basically pay to play.
Right, regardless of how good the agent actually is.
But generative AI, the big language models, they work differently. This is the key insight. ChatGPT tends to send buyers to agents who have verifiable real-world data backing them up.
Verifiable data, like what?
Like actual transaction history, unique listings they've handled, good client reviews, stuff that proves their expertise, not just their advertising budget.
Okay, I see the difference. It's validating actual experience.
And think about the financial impact for the agents who do have that strong track record.
How does it help them financially?
Well, if these top agents are getting high-quality referrals directly from something like ChatGPT, they're getting them for free.
Bypassing the referral fees.
Exactly. Those fees, management pointed out, can eat up like 40% of an agent's commission on some platforms. So this is potentially a huge financial win for experienced agents.
They called it a paradigm shift, didn't they?
They did. It really shifts the power towards agents with proven results. But they were also quick to add a nuance. That artificial intelligence isn't emotional intelligence. AI handles the logistics, the admin, the data, but it doesn't build trust or navigate complex negotiations. That's still the agent's job, their EQ, or emotional quotient.
So EQ still wins in the end. Technology just clears the path.
That's the idea. Technology empowers the human element. It doesn't replace it.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's connect this back to the merger.
Mm-hmm.
Integrating anywhere is a massive undertaking. They need a plan, a blueprint. Did they talk about that?
They did. They specifically pointed to their experience with acquiring Christie's International Real Estate CIR as the playbook.
Okay, CIR is the model. How does that apply? Ryan McPhoney asked about this, right?
Yeah, he did. The CIR integration, especially the title business part, offers a really concrete example of what they hope to achieve with Anywhere's assets.
And what was the headline number from the CIR title integration?
It was pretty staggering. They reported a 1,000 basis point lift in the title attach rate after they integrated CIR.
1,000 basis points. That's 10%, right?
Yeah. 10%, which in the title insurance world is enormous. And how did they get it?
How?
Simply by bringing their own Compass agents fully into the system, embedding the title services into the tech platform, making it easy to use. Before, apparently, the CIR title arm only works selectively with Compass agents.
So the plan is basically integrate Anywhere's title assets, make them easily accessible to all the agents on the platform, and replicate that 10% lift in new markets.
That's the financial thesis in a nutshell. That's the core synergy argument for that part of the deal.
Okay, but Anywhere is also huge in the franchise space. Matthew Bully asked about that, didn't he? Can the Compass platform even handle franchises? Multi-brand, different owners?
Yeah, that was a critical question. They confirmed, yes, the platform is designed to scale and handle that complexity, multi-tenant, multi-brand.
And what's the strategy for the franchise owners? What's in it for them?
The focus is on transferring Compass's internal advantages over to those franchise owners. Things like their enterprise sales engine for recruiting, their systematic processes, the efficiencies they get from offshore, and outsourced transaction management.
So giving those tools to the franchisees, who they called entrepreneurs at the highest level.
Exactly. Empowering the franchisees with the operational backend that Compass has built. That seems to be the value proposition.
Okay, interesting. Let's shift slightly. Agent growth. Chris Kanar asked why they bumped up their forecast for adding new agents.
Right. They increased the expectation for gross organic principal agent adds. Used to be 600, 700, now it's 700, 800 for the year.
Why the extra confidence?
Two main reasons, according to management. First, they're just seeing a stronger pipeline, more agents, and higher quality agents interested in joining.
Okay, better pipeline. What's the second reason?
More walkovers. Agents actively leaving their current brokerages and coming over.
Walkovers. And do they say why agents are walking over now?
Yeah, this was pretty direct. They basically said agents feel kind of abandoned or unsupported right now by traditional organizations like NAR or the MLSs, even some portals.
Wow, they named names, or, well, organizations.
They cited examples like agents getting hit with, say, $5,000 MLS fines or getting banned from portals, things that make agents feel vulnerable.
So in that environment of, let's call it chaos or uncertainty?
Exactly. In that environment, Compass is positioning itself as the stable, supportive alternative. The company with the resources, that $2 billion platform investment they keep mentioning, to actually back its agents up.
Right, the advocate for the professional agent angle. Makes sense strategically.
Definitely.
Okay, let's circle back one last time to operations and cost control. Michael Ng wanted some practical examples of that OpEx discipline, right?
Yes. And management really hammered the point that this isn't just a temporary cost-cutting drive. It's now embedded in the company culture, in their DNA, as they put it, a whole company thing.
So what are the tangible examples? How does it actually work day to day?
Well, they said every request to backfill a position gets challenged now. They're constantly looking to see if roles can be moved offshore to lower-cost locations.
Okay, challenging hiring, offshoring. What else?
They're using Six Sigma methodologies. You know, those process improvement techniques on key financial and operational workflows to find repeatable savings.
Getting systematic about efficiency.
And maybe the most interesting part, they've mandated AI learning for employees across all departments. Legal, finance, engineering. Everyone is expected to find ways AI can make their own work more efficient.
Turning every employee into a potential cost saver through AI tools? That's pretty forward-thinking.
It is. And they gave a concrete result from this focus. They used to use an external consulting firm for accounts payable processing. Well, thanks to internal process improvements and better use of offshore resources, they're completely winding down that external contract by the end of the year, saving money directly.
Okay, that's a clear win. And just one final clarification point on cost legal expenses.
Yeah, they confirmed that the costs related to some ongoing litigation are included in their non-GAAP OpEx numbers for Q3 and Q4.
And they expect some of that to carry into 2026.
They do. So if you're modeling things out, you need to account for those specific legal costs separately from the merger stuff. It gives investors clarity on those headwinds.
Right. It really paints a picture of a company battening down the hatches, operationally speaking, ahead of this huge integration.
Execution and control, that's the name of the game right now.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Tuning in, we've gone deep into the Q&A, filtering out the noise. What are the big takeaways?
I think there are two really critical strategic points that emerge clearly from this Q&A session.
Okay, number one.
The financial commitment is real, and it's significantly higher. That $300 million plus synergy target for the Anywhere deal isn't just talk. It's backed by a CEO commitment and, importantly, by a track record where they've actually over-delivered on cost cuts before.
So, message one. They're confident they can make the merger math work, even with the debt load, because they believe in their operational ability to cut costs.
Exactly. And the second major takeaway is about that fundamental shift in how agents get business driven by AI.
The end of pay-to-play, potentially.
It's certainly a major headwind for that old model. Generative AI, like ChatGPT, is fundamentally rewarding agents with verifiable, real-world experience and results, not just the ones who pay the most for leads.
Which boosts the value and the financial prospects of the best agents on the platform.
Right. It enhances the status and earning potential of those top performers who have the data to back up their reputation.
Which leads us to a final, maybe provocative thought for you to consider.
Yeah, think about this. If AI keeps getting better at prioritizing verifiable data, actual transaction histories, confirmed client satisfaction, measurable success, how does that change things for agents?
You mean, how does it change their incentives? Especially around things like privacy or sharing their performance data.
Exactly. Suddenly, that data, that verifiable reputation, becomes incredibly valuable currency in this new landscape. The whole industry seems to be moving towards verifying reputation in a much more structured way. What does that mean for the future agent?
Something to definitely mull over.
Yeah.
The value of a verifiable track record in the age of AI.
That's a big question.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the Q&A. We hope this gave you some valuable insights.